The youngsters who haven't seen me or met me before, but I know some of the older folks know who I am. We're just getting ready to start, as a matter of fact, and we'll have
Pastor Ali, and good morning to each and every one of you. So good to see you here today. Very important day that we have gathered here like this for. And we thank God for each and every one of you and for the support. Before I pray the opening prayer, let me just remind you that in the book of Joshua chapter 1 verse 9, God spoke to Joshua and said, "Have I not commanded you, be strong and courageous? Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." I want to encourage us today as we are meeting that will make us strong, or for some, it will allow us to continue to be strong. Some are already strong, but we need to continue to be strong. The word of the Lord also lets us know in the book of Proverbs 27, verse 17, it says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." We are here today to sharpen each other in our strength. I'm glad to know that it's International Men's Day, but very, very good as well to see some of the women supporting us. Without the women, we would not be here, and we know that. And thank God for each one of you who are supporting us right now. I'm going to ask you to do one thing. Just stand with me as I open up in prayer and welcome the presence of the Lord here. Lord, we thank you and we praise you for this day. We thank you and we praise you for all that you've done for us and to this point. You have made it possible for us to be here right now. Lord, you understand the reasoning and the needs of each and every one, and you know why we are here. We don't have to explain that to you. But Lord, we just welcome you here right now, and we pray that you will uplift and strengthen in all that we do. Bless everything that shall be said and done, we humbly pray. We give you thanks, we give you praise, we magnify your holy name through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen, amen, and amen. You may be seated.
Thank you very much, Pastor Ezron Gray, for bringing us that invocation. And let me now call on Ismail Lampe, Brothers with a Cause, and he's the president. So a big hand for Ismail, please.
Thank you, thank you. I really wish Central and Complex was here at the moment, because I wanted to tell this joke in front of everybody, but hopefully you guys don't bomb it right away, but I'm going to try, okay? Why did the young man ride his bicycle every day? Because he was caught in a vicious cycle. Okay, bomb. Good day and welcome to International Men's Day. My name is Ismail. The joke? Good day and welcome to International Men's Day. My name is Ismail Lampe and I am Brothers with a Cause sitting president. I am currently a student here at UVI pursuing a bachelor's in business management. International Men's Day is a global awareness day for many and any issues that men face, to include homelessness, suicide, alienation, relationship matters, and so on. Today is our 25th anniversary, which began back in 1999 and was founded by Dr. Jerome Tlaksing. So without further ado, thank you for coming out to support this worthy cause. And now I will be turning it over to Mr. Abdul Ali for the overview of our conference. Thanks.
Thank you very much indeed. And just to give you an overview, well, we've heard from Pastor Ezron Gray, Ismail Lampe, our new president of the Brothers with a Cause. I'll be doing a little bit in terms of running through the program with you. We should have some remarks from the UVI recruitment team, because we want to encourage people to check in with UVI and make sure that they get some education here. Then we should have a little video, International Men's Day. And following that, our keynote address is going to come from Pastor Dexter Skeppel from the governor's office. survivor engagement specialist, and then we will have the presentation of the certificates. And I understand there's going to be a wonderful young man who is going to come and do some singing. Is that right? Yes, so going to, and they say he is very good. His name is Mr. Iles. I think it's I-L-E-S, if I'm not mistaken. So we're looking forward to that. And we usually get a little video from the governor's office. I'm not sure if that has arrived, but we'll get something rolling on that particular school. And then we will have some discussions with the youths here. Violence, how is it learned and how it can be unlearned. We'll also discuss how real men resolve conflicts. Gun violence, we know there's been quite a bit of that around. What could be done to address that, and how to build healthy relationships, because at the end of the day, it comes down to that. And then we will have a vote of thanks by Samuel Joseph. And of course, he is the program research coordinator here, and a big part of Brothers with a Cause. And I just want to, first of all, just mention and recognize our honorees who are here, and we'll be dealing with them a little bit later. We got Dr. Vladimir Hill over here. We have Thurgood Choco McIntosh Jr. here. We have, I haven't seen Mario Moorhead, but I know we have Kevin Dowdy here. Superman Carl Knight from WAPA. He's going to make sure the current and everything stays on, so can't go wrong there. Attorney Russell Pate is here. Alwyn Batiste, can't have any music without him. Elvis Pedro, and of course, also a big music man and does a lot in terms of his work. And then Gary Pepin, he's a former member of, or president of Brothers with a Cause. So who are we going to with? Because remarks from UVI recruitment team, who is doing that at the moment? Okay. Tanisha? Oh yes, the one and only Tanisha. Let's have her up here to bring us up to date with recruitment, UVI. We want to make sure that we get as many people involved in that. So a nice warm applause for Tanisha, please.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry. This is like the deadest morning I've ever received. So we're gonna try it again. I know it's Tuesday. We're hoping for Friday, but let's try this one more time. Let's get ready for this morning. Let's get ready for it. You guys ready? Yeah. You ready? Ready. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I feel the love. Thank you. So my name is Tanisha Nanton. I am the enrollment coordinator here on the St. Croix Albert A. Sheen campus. I'm so happy that you guys are here today. I'm so happy for this program because you guys deserve a day, right? All about you, right? Where you learn about different things, where you learn that you're important and you need to be amazing in this community. So a lot of cool things about being UVI and being a student at UVI is because UVI does a lot of cool things for the community. We have a lot of students going out internationally, like leaving the United States, leaving the USVI, and they're doing research, and they're coming back with the top prize for us. We have students going to the United States and just having a different experience out of the USVI. How many of you guys have left St. Croix? Raise your hand. Wow. All of you? Okay, I'm jealous. I've never seen this much hands and so young faces. Okay, so I love that. That's good. Leaving sometimes allows you to see how things are done differently, right? It expands your mind so that you don't have a closed mindset. And going to college, especially going to UVI, brings out a different mindset for you, right? It allows you to think not just what would I do in school, but what can I do in school that will help better my community, will help better myself, right? How many of you guys go shopping with your parents? And how many of you guys look at the prices or only look at the snacks that you want? Who looks at the snacks that they want? Who looks at the prices? Okay, some of you. So a key part of going to school is because the more you learn, the more you earn, okay? So when you finish high school and you go and get a job versus a person that finished high school and went to college, who do you think would make more money? College, right? And so it's very important to go beyond your high school education. Sometimes it's not just, I know a lot of times people are like, oh, but I hate school. Who loves school? This is the first time you guys didn't raise your hand. Okay, right? But school is a way to train you, because how would you have learned to read without school? How would you have learned how to do math? How would you learn how to communicate? And even the most important thing, how would you have been able to learn how to communicate and socialize with your friends, right? Google? But if you didn't know how to read, how would you read Google? I thought you were going to say YouTube. But anyway, right? So school is so important, and going beyond high school is super, super important. You can work and go to college, right? You can do different things. And so I want you guys to always think about UVI. It's your home away from, it's not your home away from home. It's the best school on the island, the only university. You should always apply to your local university, and you only have one, right? You can come to either the St. Croix campus, or you can go to the St. Thomas campus. Who wants to live in the dorms when you go to college, right? And we have both dorms on the St. Croix and St. Thomas campus. We have a lot of different degrees, and by the time you guys graduate high school, we're gonna have even more degrees. So I want you to always think about UVI. Keep your energy up, right? Because this is an amazing program. You're gonna have a lot of information. I thank you guys so much for having me here today. You are amazing.
Is UVI free?
UVI, oh, thank you. So UVI offers a free tuition scholarship for students. It is not free for everyone, but once you've attended a local USVI high school, so even if you went to Complex or Central or both at the same time, right? And you have a 2.5 GPA or better, you're a US citizen, you can qualify for free tuition. And that's in addition to financial aid, okay? And I know, how many of you guys have heard about financial aid? Yeah, I know, because this is not really the group that you hear about it, right? But when you're in high school, you will learn about that. You'll also learn more about the free tuition and other opportunities, ways for you to pay for college, because we don't want you to pay for it on your own, right? And it is not like public school. It is like you have to pay for it. It's like private school, but it's, you know, you have to pay for it. But there's different ways for you to pay for it. And when you're in high school, we will discuss further. Thank you guys again, and have a great day.
Thank you very much. Tanisha and Anton, they were bringing us up to date, and I hope that some of you, particularly the younger ones, will think about UVI as you move forward. I just want to, at this stage, just make sure we welcome all the ladies here today. Could you just stand for a bit, please? Don't be shy. We need you badly. Yeah, give the ladies a big hand for being here to share with us, because we wouldn't really be around without you. So we appreciate your efforts, all right? Good. And then I also want to make sure that we thank a couple of individuals who are here helping us to move forward. As it were, we got the Central, well, I haven't seen Central yet, but I know we have the Yuli Rivera School. Where's that? All right, over there. Okay. And we have Juanita Gardine. Yes, lovely. All right. And we got a school here. Which school is this? Where? Pearl B. Larson. Lovely. All right. So let me put that down on the list. Pearl B. Larson. And one thing I think that a lot of our politicians did is that if you notice, to keep history alive, all the schools have a name of someone who has contributed to the community. So that's really very good. And then, of course, coming up in June, they're supposed to be teaching VI history in schools, so we will see if that happens. All right. Also, to help us on the technical side, we got Lamar Seeley. Where's Mr. Seeley? Oh, Mr. Seeley is hiding behind here, but we can see him just the same. And we have Devon Taylor. Devon over there in green, making sure that we are getting this broadcast live. And of course, we have Earl Morris. Can't do without him. That's the man who tries to keep everything rolling over. And I also want to mention Matthias Clavier. We wouldn't be this far without him. 5 years ago, or this is the 6th year, went and talked to him about International Men's Day, and he said that we have to do that. And of course, the new man now is Mr. Sammy Joseph, all the way at the back there. A big hand for Sammy as well. Right. By the way, this is the 6th Men's Day, International Men's Day, that we're involved in, and we really feel very good that we're working with that, and we hope that all women in the community will continue to encourage us to be the very best that we can be. We're going to have our keynote address at the moment, and I just wanted to, because I didn't get to do this before, welcome Basile Williams Sr. He's one of our honorees who came in a little bit later into the program, and we're delighted to have those individuals, and we'll be moving forward with them just at this time. Well, Pastor Dexter Skeppel has been very much involved with the group that deals with gun violence and violence in general, and has done a lot through his church, and the whole emphasis of making sure that we understand from a men's point of view how we can relate to anybody, including women, in ways that doesn't lead to violence at the end of the day. Because every time we become violent, we make a choice to do that. So we could equally make a choice not to be violent. So a big warm hand, please, for Pastor Skeppel, Survivor Engagement Specialist at the Governor's Office. A big hand, please.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for inviting me and having an opportunity to speak. I want you gentlemen to help me finish a statement here, okay, guys? When I say it, then you give me the answer to the question, all right? You ready? If somebody hits you, wait, hold on. There we go again, one more time. Here we go. We're talking about gun violence here, right? Here we go. If somebody hits you, what have you been told? Love that. We live in a community where a lot of fathers are outside of the home. We don't have an opportunity to father kids the way that we want to. every person in here, every young person, every adult, everybody needs to find a way how we could reduce gun violence on St. Croix in the Virgin Islands is by helping young men understand the importance of what we need to do to reduce gun violence. The key thing is we need to start mentoring more young men. When I was 10 years old, about most of you age in that age group, I saw gun violence up close and up front. My brother shot my other brother up close and up front at 11 years old. That was something very devastating in my family household when I was 11 years old, to see my older brother having a gun in his hand and playing around with the gun, talking, and that gun, did not know that gun was loaded, and shot my brother. My brother stayed in the hospital for almost 4 months, because he had a loaded gun in his hand. Changed both of my brother's life, the one who did the shooting and the one that got shot. I want to remind you here today, young men, one of the worst things you can do is to put a gun in your hand. Guns in the hand of a young man is a very dangerous thing. We have had shooting after shooting after shooting after shooting because there are people with guns in their hands, and they should not have guns in their hands. If somebody is encouraging you and trying to mold you into having a handgun in your hand, then I want to encourage you, disengage yourself from that person. Don't hang around people who have guns, because that's the most destructive things that could ever happen, is for a young man to have a gun in his hand. One of the greatest things that ever happened to me was a guy by the name of Prado Lopez. I was 13 years old. I was at the Wimball Park, and he said to me, "I want you to come and join my baseball team." I didn't know how to play. Still don't know how to play that much anyhow, but anyhow. But he invited me into his close quarters, and he helped mentor me. And young man, I want to ensure you this for sure. Find a mentor. Find somebody in your life that could help you engage your life in some which way, in something positive. It's going to keep you out of a whole heap of trouble. I have 8,200 flight hours as a commercial pilot. And the reason that I have that amount of experience as a commercial pilot and been all over the world is because somebody cared. And if you want to become somebody, if you want to become somebody that's going to be successful in some place, somehow in your life, you have to make sure that a gun never gets placed in your hand to do anything destructive that would kill or destroy somebody else. Gun violence is a problem everywhere. It's a problem in Antigua, it's a problem in St. Kitts, it's a problem in Jamaica, it's a problem in almost every Caribbean island. And when you put a gun in somebody's hand, you put a gun in their hand, you literally is reducing their lifespan. And I want to encourage you today, young men, I want to encourage you today, find something productive, find something good and something positive that you're going to do. It's going to make a tremendous difference in your life. You know, we see violence has become so normal. I went to a gun violent, somebody that got shot recently, and this person fired the gun and shot somebody else and killed somebody else right in front of his son. Right in front of his son. You know, most of you have seen the viral video where this man shot the mother and the daughter. Remember that video that was circling? It happened July 4th. July 4th. The young lady name is Deshauna Graham. And now she's in a wheelchair struggling to walk. When you put gun or guns in the hands of somebody who has no business and no right, it damages other people's lives. And sometimes they have to carry that scar for the rest of their life. How do we get away from this? Is whenever we see somebody doing something crazy, we have to speak up. We can't be silent anymore. We have to speak up, not just to go on the radio and say something, not just to talk about it, but to do something about it. And the way that we do something about it is when we know somebody who have a gun and they don't have any business with a gun. Somebody that has a gun and don't have no business with a gun. You know, one of the great things that young men love, and most of you would say this today, is most of you love video games, right? How many here, young men, do not play video games? You've never played a video game in your life. You've never played. You have never played a video game. You don't know nothing about video games. You don't know anything. Video games have changed now. It was once Pac-Man. You remember Pac-Man? Yeah, I remember Pac-Man. Pac-Man was simple. It was easy. It was no violence. It was just somebody gobbling to somebody else. It was easy. Now it's different. Now there's Mortal Kombat. Now there's a video game where there is Grand Theft Auto. That's a nice game. There is all types of video games that encourages you to do something crazy. My nephew, a great nephew, loved him. Great young man. He lived in Antigua. I moved him to St. Croix with me and told him, hey man, I want you to, come live with me. He came, and beautiful, great soccer player, loved the game, could play basketball. And he started playing video games more and more. And a part of the video game stated that you need to kill somebody. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And he wrote in his note that I want to kill my uncle. Imagine a video game encouraging you to kill somebody that feeds you, take care of you, clothe you. That is the type of violence that continues to promulgate because video game pushes that narrative all the time. Do something crazy, go rob somebody, go do something. And I asked him, I asked him, my good nephew, I said, why would you want to kill me? I said, we go play basketball together. I take you on free trips on my airplane, on the airplane when I flew it at the time. We go all over the place together. Why would you do that? And he said, that's what the video games say to do. He's 14 years old. He knows better. Don't allow anybody to encourage you to do wrong. Let them do wrong by themselves. If you're going to become somebody successful, if you're going to become successful young men like these men that we're honoring today, it is important that you finish school. Most of the people who are struggling today, it's because they never finish school. It is important to finish your education. It is important to graduate. It's important for you to go on and to study something and to become what you need to be. It is important. Every human being life is valuable. You have every person's life. You cannot say, I'm going to kill this person or this. No, it's important for you to finish school. It's important for you to value human lives. When it's all said and done, when life is all finished and it's done and it's over with, the key thing that's going to be important is what impact did you have on the community that you lived in? And if you want to become somebody, it's more important than just to become a YouTuber or an influencer. You're going to have to learn a skill that's going to change your life and help change somebody else's life. And your fellow person that's next to you, they have a valued life. Somebody value their life. In closing, I want to remind you about something that is important, that violence has become so normal in our community that it's kind of like if somebody gets shot, it's kind of like we shrug it off. We kind of like, it's not that important and it's not really real. There are people that are getting shot. There are people that are struggling. There's one young man that got shot 14 times. 14 times on St. Croix. 14 times. And thank God he's alive. But not everybody survived gun violence. And in order for us to change the narrative, we have to make sure this is an adult thing. If we're going to change the narrative on St. Croix, nobody is coming to rescue us. We must rescue ourselves. I said again, nobody is coming to rescue us. We must rescue ourselves. I want you to remind you, young men, it is important that you understand this as I close. If you want to become somebody in our community that's going to change lives, you must finish your education. When you finish your education, it opens up doors. It opens up doors that nobody can close. Today I stand before you, amen, because listen to this. I stand before you today telling you how important it is that you are valued. You have a valuable place in life. Somebody is going to take your skills and use it to make their business, to make this community better. And it's important. It is important that you finish school and you finish it with a strong, strong vigor. It is important that you go to school and finish school. The music that you listen to, the videos that you watch with young men with a gun in their hand, with weed, with drugs, that's not what you want. That's not the kind of life that you want to live. That's not the place that you want to go. Because that place is a place of destruction. I close with this story. I go to the prison ministry. I go to the prison to preach to the inmates all the time. Every month I go, and I go there all the time. And the one prisoner that's there, he's been there for 40 years. 40 years. He was the man that, most of you weren't alive then, that killed the 8 people up at Fountain Valley. Y'all remember that? It's called the Fountain Valley Massacre. And this is what he told me. He said this. He said, please help me get out of here. I've been here long enough. See, once you get life in prison, it is amazing. It is one thing to do the crime, but it's a whole nother thing to do the time. I want to encourage you, the worst place you could ever go and to stay there for the rest of your life because you had a gun in your hand and you think that you could use it and you could kill anybody else, is the last place that you end up is in prison. And we don't want that for nobody in here at all, in no which way. Because when we get there, it is easy to go in, but is sometimes impossible to come out. Gun violence is real, but you and I, we do not have to participate in it. We got a choice. We get to say, I don't want to be a part of gun violence. I am not going to participate in it. And if we're going to change our community, it's because young men your age are going to make sure that you do not pledge to ever pick up a gun or ever shoot somebody and kill somebody, because at some point, somewhere, it has a long-lasting, everlasting effect. So I close with this. If you keep the gun out of your hand and you put education in your head, you're going to be a very successful person. So I want to encourage you, finish your high school, finish your grades, finish your school, become what you want to be, what God has ordained you to be, and you're going to be a very successful person. And as a result, you are going to be the leader of this community or some community at some point. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pastor Skeppel, for making that presentation about the whole business of gun violence. As we all know, all of us need a bit of power. Nothing wrong with needing power and getting it, but it becomes a problem when you want to overpower other people and you think you are better than they are and so on and so forth, and you get to a point where you feel as though I have to stay on the face of the earth. The other person has got to go. So there's some challenges that we need to look at in those key areas, and I certainly hope that we will be doing more of this as we go along, because we're going to be having the discussions afterwards about how violence is learned, how it can be unlearned, and how you're going to be able to solve conflicts. And conflicts are part of life. They're going to come up every day. Every single day there's going to be a conflict. But we need to be able to work out how we're going to deal with it. And instead of just blaming the other person, just look at the problem, whatever that is, and see what we can do. Also want to mention that there's some lunches at the back, so that when the youngsters are ready to leave, they'll be able to get some of those. All right, at the moment we want to do our presentation to the honorees, those wonderful individuals who have contributed much to the community in, I would say, a ton load of ways. So just bring that. So we're going to get some help here in terms of that. And our first, and I should also say that if the honorees want to spend a minute or two just giving a brief comment on the program as a whole, they're welcome to do that. Well, our first honoree is Dr. Valdemar Hill. Can you come up, please, Dr. Hill? And there are quite a few things that I think you've got to turn on. So good to see you on the camera, Dr. Hill, over there. There are many, many, many things that Dr. Hill has done over the years. He's been a first-class arbitrator, mediation services leader with the VI Public Relations Board, president of several top-level VI government organizations and offices, and the founder of the St. Thomas chapter of Toastmasters Club. He's also written a number of books on very, very important subjects in our community. And what I'm telling you about there is really only a few of the achievements of Dr. Valdemar Hill, Jr. So we just want to offer congratulations to you, and to also get folks to recognize that one of the things that Dr. Hill has had in his favor is being able to persevere beyond the differences and the challenges that he has faced. So you'll have your certificate. You want to say a few words, Doctor?
Thank you, Mr. Ali, and good morning, everyone. I feel really honored to be a part of this celebration this morning, International Men's Day. But I was really so impressed with the presentation by Pastor Keppel to you young people. It is so important that you pursue activities that will help you grow and develop into individuals that can present yourselves in a positive way to your community, your family, your community. A large part of my career was right here at UVI. I was a professor of business administration for over 30 years, right here on this campus. And I encourage all of you to pursue something that will enable you to make contributions to your community. I look out at you this morning and I see such bright faces. I see individuals with great opportunities to be contributors to your to this community. And so, with that in mind, and not taking any more of your time, I just want to tell you to do good, and God will continue to bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Valdemar Hill. And he's got a new book coming up sometime soon, and we should, be hearing about that. Our next honoree is the man himself, Thurgood Choco McIntosh. Right. This is another great man within our community. And of course, he has been involved in leading the Thurgood McIntosh and Gerard Alfonso Hall Sports Award Committee. It's had a big impact on sports in the VI, and we know that a lot of the youngsters here like to play sports. The committee started in 2013. It's honored over 400 persons in that period of time for their achievements in the sport. So a warm award for you. And also honored individuals who are not necessarily sports men or women, because a lot of women have been honored as well, but people in the community who've contributed to the success. And it's really very, very exciting indeed to be able to recognize our good friend Thurgood Choco McIntosh for keeping VI history alive in a number of ways, sports being one of them. So, you want to say something?
Yeah, good morning. Wow. I was animal, I think it's 2 times before, but this one mean a lot. This one really touched my heart. I want to say something right now, Pastor Skepero, where he talk about the prison system. I work in the prison system for 22 years. I know the prison system. I know the gentleman he was speaking about. And that's all he talk about, to get out. Don't care who you are, he asking you, he want to get out. Another young man from, I was small in Grove. I was a young man when this crime was committed. So I know the prison system. I want to say something to the young man over there. I had a friend of mine, he's still alive. All of us work in the jail together. We went and we took our day off and went to speak to some of the young kids in the school. We went to Arthur Richards in Frederiksted. We went down there. And this young man gave me so much problem. He cursed me from my head to my foot. You know what I told him? When I go back to work, I'm going to put your name in my locker because I know I'm going to see you. And my God, 3 years after, the same young man came to meet me in the jail where I'm working. And he didn't remember me. And I didn't tell you, I treat him like a correction officer will treat other inmate coming in. He started to cry. I said, you shouldn't cry. I asked him one question. Remember the gentleman you cursed from his head to his foot? It's me now. You're in my house now. And you're going to do what I want you to do, not what you want to do. So I talking to the young man, prison life is not good. I worked there 22 years, and now I retire now 21 years. So again, thanks for this award.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much. He couldn't do without that, you know. Yeah, that's really very good indeed. And thank you, Choco. All right, we got Mr. Mario Moorhead. He isn't here, but I am going to just say briefly, we're recognizing him for his willingness to promote culture and history and the well-being of the people of the Virgin Islands, promoting of the act that calls for the teaching of VI and Caribbean history in schools, and even though it's been held back by local education department for years, that's well known and admired. He's also an author. He's written a book, I think it's about that thick. I can't even count how many words and letters are in it. It's just amazing. So we will see how that goes. And of course, he does his bit on WSTX radio to strive for community and enlightenment and self-growth. So he isn't here today, but we could give him a nice warm applause. And we'll put that back. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Our next honoree is Superman Kevin Dowdy. Superman. Yeah, because he also helps to promote the culture, history of the Virgin Islands, and his years of service as a monitor at Central High School, football coach, a leader of Excalibur Flag Football, Inc., and he had developed a program along that line for non-violence anywhere. So that's certainly something to look at, and also to try to keep sports moving forward. And then when I checked on him with the good lady in his life, he's written books on children's, husbands, murders, and other exotic stories. So it's really very good to be here today with Kevin Dowdy, and a man who's really doing all that he could at his level to keep sports going, but even more important than that, and just a number of times when, even if he has to put in his hand in his own pocket to help our youths get away and play and enjoy themselves, he would do that. So a big hand for Super Kevin, please.
Thank you, Mr. Ali. It's really an honor. Abdul Ali called my wife and let my wife know first. And when she called me that you're going to get honored, I said, honored? Honored for what? She said, well, Ali breaking up. Ali's a great supporter of what we're doing with Excalibur Flag Football League. Very, very supported every year. But I'm going to keep it short to the young men. I am a manager for 16 years going on 17. I'm the head coach for the football team for 13 years. And when Pastor Skeppel came up and do his presentation, it touched my heart, and this is the reason why it touched my heart. All my years of coaching up Central, I lost 3 players. The first player was by suicide, right? He shot himself in his mother's house. And when they called me and explained to me what happened, because I know the young man are going through some rough time at home. And that's why I always try to take my time to speak to my players them so they could explain to me what's going on, so I could help them in any way possible, right? And that they hit home, right? My second player who I lost, and I think everybody know him as Tintaway Christian. That's the young man in 2019 that gets shot up in Sion Farm, right? They called me in the night. Listen, brilliant young man and a role respectable. And when they call me and tell me that day, I break down in the living room and tears shed from my eyes, because when you play for me, I treat you like you're my son. And I will go over and beyond for any one of my players. And that day, like, shook me up to the point where my organization was created in 2018, Excalibur Flag Football League. And it's a non-profit organization, and we go against gun violence. So we do a tournament every year for Tintaway in the honor of Tintaway Christian. So March gonna be our fifth tournament, and is to fight against gun violence, because we're losing a lot of our young men out there. Because me as a monitor up in the school and hand in hand with the students them, a lot of administrators and the upper office don't really know the nitty-gritty. But when you sit down and you talk to a student and understand what they're going through at home and what they're going through in the community and the reason why they're acting out in the school, if we as adults don't sit down and take the time and listen and try to help them in a way, instead of punishing, because you're pushing them away every time you're punishing them. And for my 17 years up Central, I took the time and sit down and listen to every one student. Sometimes the troublemakers them, I bring them in and my football team, because that's how I deter them from the street. I take my time to do everything with them and so forth, just to keep them off the street and point them in the right direction, right? And that's who I am. The third player was last year, and this player gave me hell when he came to play for me. But by the time he graduated out of Central, he was like, you couldn't split us apart, to the point that he had got a scholarship to go and play up Minnesota in a college. And when the college them saw how he played, Texas Longhorn College at D1, I don't know if most of you know what D1 college is, told him, finish up your year and come and play for us, right? But I kind of blame myself because I didn't keep much in communication with him when he went away, because the mother keep on telling me, doing good. And what happened, right? They did a do pop-up drug test, and when a man pop up, he had marijuana in his system. They sent him back home right away, lost everything, right? And that's why they choose to sit down and talk to these young men, because how our community is based on, and this marijuana thing is like taking over our youths. And a lot of parents don't realize the children as young as elementary, you're talking about 10 to 11, smoking. And the parents don't know, because most of the parents them get 2 jobs and so on, and the children at home. So you know who they turn to? The community. The older men them in the community, and that's their lifestyle. But anyway, I ain't gonna drag it on. Emmanuel. Oh God, so you even forget your name, because you bringing tears to my eyes. The mother find him hanging in the backyard, right? Hanson. And that day just ripped me up, because the day before that day happened, I saw him walking on the street, and I pull over. And I said, come in the truck, let me get you a ride. He said, no man, dog, I just exercising, not knowing that he are going through some issues. And 2 days later, that's when they called to tell me. So my message to the young man, I need to speak up. And as they say, we as men, we tackle our troubles in silence, because we will start, man are strong, man don't break down, man don't cry. But we need to speak up, because we're losing more IU than anything in this world. Anyway, before I get teary-eyed, the Tintaway Stop the Gun Violence tournament is March 26th to the 25th at Education Complex. We do have teams coming from Puerto Rico, because it's a hand-in-hand. Because September, we took 80 children from the VI here on St. Croix to Puerto Rico. I brought the tournament to Puerto Rico, because Puerto Rico work hand-in-hand with we. And our players, the elementary section and the middle school came back with the championship for that tournament. So they come in to participate in the tournament, because they say they like the cars, they like the movement of Excalibur flag football, and it's going to be March 22nd to March 25th at Complex. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. And obviously, especially for our young people, there's going to be some challenges in his life, but start to think about what you want to be. That's going to be good and meaningful. All right, our next honoree is Mr. Carl Knight. one of the most powerful men here on the island. See all this electricity. It does. And as you see, we've been here all this time and no outages, and we're glad to see that things are moving forward. And I thought that I saw some people on the highways. It looked as though they're fixing some lights, so we might soon have street lights coming up. But just to get to Carl, he started off with the Chief of Staff in the Brian Roach administration and being there for quite a period of time. And then an opportunity came up to be part of WAPA. He put his application in the usual way like everybody else, and he was selected. And I think that obviously he had worked for WAPA prior to that, and now he's there and working. It's a challenge with his team to try to get WAPA really organized in a kind of way so we could bring down the prices for what we pay and at the same time get regular power. So I just want to wish you lots of luck, and please continue to bring about change. A big hand for Carl Knight from WAPA.
Thank you. Good morning. Greetings to the men in the room, the young men, the not so young men. Greetings to you. I want to show solidarity with my brother. Thanks for Brothers with a Cause. Mr. Lampe, I want to show a little solidarity and join you and show you that we are united by also telling a bad joke. So you have some company. Why did the man fall into the well? Because he couldn't see that well. Let me just thank you for the recognition. Such a great group of stalwart men in our community. Mr. Pedro, Daddy Jones, Choco, Coach Dowdy, Tony Pate, Dr. Hill, Mr. Basil Williams, a great assembly, good cross-section of our community. I just want to leave you with one brief message. Pastor Skeppel really stressed on education, and I want you to know education that is what levels opportunity. It doesn't matter where you come from. I come from very humble beginnings. For most of my childhood, I slept on a mattress on the living room floor of my grandmother's house. It wasn't until I was in high school that I finally got a room that I could say, this is my room, this is my bed. It doesn't matter where you start. Education is a leveling entity. The one thing that was consistent in my grandmother's house was school came first. Make sure you get to school every day, do your work, do your homework. She put a priority on education. I came up through the public school system, I like to say from Head Start all the way to State College. Paul B. Larson, Elena Christian, Central High School. Went off to a state college, Morgan State, to get my degree. When I left high school, I didn't have, again, humbling beginnings. I didn't know how I was going to pay for college. I barely could make it to pay for college. I got a scholarship. It's funny how I've come full circle. Because I had good grades in school, I was able to get a scholarship from WAPA. Over 30 years later, I'm back now running WAPA, believe it or not. So, but it starts with a priority on education. And I also want to say, we tend to say to our young men in the community, we say, college ain't for everyone. But I want to let you know, if you want it to be for you, it's for you. If it's for them, then it's for us. And if you want it to be for you, it's for you. You have to make up your mind and you have to make a choice. That Pastor Skeppel spoke about choosing. You have to make decisions in your life. You have to choose the path that you're going to follow. You have to choose what you want to do. You have to choose what you will not do. But the choice is yours. Make the choices. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes. I wish it was that easy and I could give you a simple answer, but no, we don't turn it off at random times. We fight very hard to keep it on at all times, but at random times we drop the ball, but we try our best.
All right, beautiful. Okay, our next honoree is Basil A. Williams Sr. And a big hand indeed for Basil. Basil has done a lot of things. I got some notes here. He's been in education, and by the way, I think it's the Education Week, I think, if I'm not mistaken, at the moment. He's been a principal at elementary, junior high, high school levels, and outreach and admissions counselor with the Job Corps program. He loves math. The teaching of math, and language arts has been on the agenda, and he's done all of that very well. So in some ways, I guess that some of us are just born to do certain things. And as far as Basil is concerned, he's really just born to teach. And he will continue to teach even though he is retired. So a big hand for Basil, please.
Thank you. Very inspired by the words of Pastor Skeppel and all the honorees as they emphasize the importance of education. Education for me is a life and death issue. What do I mean by that? I've seen a statistic recently that says a person with a higher education lives on average 8 years more than a person without. And you will say, well, what's the connection? Most likely that person has a career, maybe have a spirit of hopefulness, and a person that's not employable probably has a sense of hopelessness. So I'm here to tell you that education is everything that it's cracked up to be, and then some. By the way, Pastor Skeppel, I was his teacher when he was your age. I don't mind showing you my age. How old I am? I'll be 68 on December 24th. Okay, hold on. Speaking of some bad jokes, I'm a teacher, so I'll give a teacher joke. We had this teacher that was very particular about vocabulary. She said to her students, Johnny, give me a sentence with the word fascinate. And Johnny said, you're a fascinating teacher. She said, close, but not quite. Another guy raised his hand. She said, okay. He said, I'm fascinated by the way our football team plays. She said, I want the fascinate, not fascinated. So this guy raised his hand. He said, I got one. He said, yes, my father so big and fat, his shirt got 10 buttons and he could only fasten 8.
Oh dear. Yeah, all right. As most people know, I love to laugh. Laughter is just something, it's good for the brain, the face, the soul, everything. And I would advise you, youngsters particularly, to make sure you do a little laughing every day. in a proper way, of course, you know. Make some jokes, and you could find some of them on social media and so forth. Nice, clean jokes now, because they got some dirty jokes too. Attorney Russell Pate, please. What's that? Oh, yes, all right. I just want to recognize Attorney Pate for his years of service as a first-class attorney. He likes to represent hard-working people suffering from cancer and illnesses connected with the oil refinery. Remember Hess Oil? He likes to push for voting rights and equal treatment of the people of the Virgin Islands and the protection of open beaches, because we got some beaches sometimes and some people lock off the beach. You can't get to the beach, and that's a problem. And of course, his paintings down there by the Hugh Pemberton Flea Market, I think, also tells a story about some of the things that he feels is important. But I would definitely put him down as one of those individuals who really feels that we all have rights and those rights should be respected. So a big hand for Attorney.
Young men, this is about you, not about us. Because there's one thing that you all have that all of us over here would trade in 1 second. Something that we don't have anymore. Youth. You got that ahead of me? All right, pass this certificate back to that young man. All right? It's coming to you. So that certificate, I want you to take my name off of it, scratch it out, and I want you to write your name on it, okay? And I want you to put a date. This is for everybody. I want you to put a date on that certificate, whatever that is, 2040, 2045. You're the person up here getting the award. You know why? Because that sheet of paper means it's very nice. But when it's everything else that comes with that paper, that means you finished school. That means you went to college. That means you traveled. You traveled the world. That means you got a skill. We talk about school. People said school's boring, right? School is not, they're going to get in trouble a little bit here. It's education. There's a lot of people who didn't do very well in school, but are educated, and they're successful. Because you don't have to be the best at everything, right? You heard the pastor over here being a pilot. Do you want your plumber to fly your plane? You're going to go down. You only have to be sharp like a knife. You don't cut your food on the flat side of the blade, do you? Right. You're going to cut with the blade. So you're going to be the sharp blade. But then you're going to be a different sharp blade. So when you write your name on that sheet of paper, and you all win this award later, it's not about the sheet of paper. It's about what you've accomplished. And when you accomplish something, you're going to be accomplishing it for yourself and for everybody else. Because every person over here that's up here, they didn't also just make money and be successful. They did. Everybody here, they're doing very well. Everybody who stood up here, they've got more money in their pocket than you can even think about as a kid. But that's the thing. We sharing what we know so you can get it on your own. Because what you're asking for is a handout. And what we're trying to do here is to give you this up here. It's like giving you a fish versus teaching you to fish. Now, I'm going to also tell you something else. It's very unfair on you right now. You know why? Because everybody who stood up here, we're flawed. You know what? The reason you're in, why we're talking about gun violence, is this side of the room over here, we failed. We were ahead of you. We didn't stop the violence. We've set the bad examples for you. Every parent, every person older than you that you've seen slap somebody or hit somebody or have a gun, when you watch TV and you see horrible things, when you watch the news and you see people killed in war, exactly. Us adults have failed you. And all we can do right now is say, please, We're going to try to give you the best teaching you to fish we can. We want you to be better than us. We want you to be in a better future, a better generation. And it's a lot of burden on you. It's unfair to you. But every generation that's come has been better. You know, you think back 10, 15,000 years, people living in caves, just learning how to farm. What do you have now? Cell phone, flying on planes. People live longer now than ever. So we're putting a big challenge on you. We're trying to give you the best advice we can. I'm going to give you 5 simple things. They're going to take away about 90% of your problems to make sure you're successful. Number 1, positivity. Happiness is a choice. You don't find happiness. People say, I got to go find happiness. You attract it. So you start with a positive mindset. Yeah, you lock that down. People negative around you, disassociate from them. You're going to find out that people who are violent are negative. The people with the guns are negative. The people who are positive, they're the ones who are going to be successful. They're the ones getting the education. They're the ones thinking about creative ideas. And you know what else? Positive people have friends. And you know what you can do with friends? You can make a team. And you know what teams do? Conquer the world. Nobody conquered the world by themselves. Boom. Yeah, you want your team to be smart. You want the best in your team. Don't surround yourself with pennies. Surround yourself with quarters. All right, now we're going to do this, the other 4 very easy things. 90% of your problem is going to come from this. Alcohol. You see adults, you guys are young, but you see all these adults drinking and doing stuff. You know why they're drinking? Because they're weak. They use alcohol as a crutch. The pastor sees this all the time. The people drinking alcohol are using that as a crutch to cover up their own problems, their own failings. Drugs. Why are people using drugs? Exactly. They're hopeless. That's all they do to cover up their pain. Next one, bad relationships. People put drugs, alcohol, and bad relationships together, and then that's what is the gunplay. You got it. That's my last one, depression. Those 4 things, you avoid those 4 things? Alcohol, drugs, depression, and bad relationships. You already talked about the coach over here. He had a football player going to Texas to play ball, Division I, probably go to the pros, make tens of millions of dollars. What'd he blow it on? Marijuana. Right? You throw all that away because he was weak. And he's weak because the coach said he didn't have his friends and other people around him. So I'm just going to finish right here. If you take your arms, lock them into the next person around you. You link up. Link up like this. Oh, come on. Everybody do it real quick. My man over here. This is the team you're going to build because we as men, we heard this earlier, we don't share. And I just ask you, when you're feeling down, look to your friend. Share your problems. Share your problems because adults, we have flaws too. You guys are going to succeed. If you go home tonight, you draw up that little sheet of paper. The sheet of paper is not about the sheet of paper. The sheet of paper is that in 20, 30 years, you're going to be the CEO. You're going to be governor. Hey, my man going to be a fighter jet pilot. We look in here. What are you going to be head of what company? I'm thinking the new 3D software company. I'm not going to knock video games. Maybe you make a video game that's also this educational thing, and it's like the next Tetris. You play this game Tetris? Okay, well, all right, somebody knows about Tetris. Well, I tell you what. There's something called being a mafia boss. It's called running an oil company. And we need some people to run those. Those oil company guys, they make $1 billion. So you're going to be way above that. All right, kids, children here, you're young men, right? Time's going to go this fast. And you're going to be up here one day. All of you will, because there's a lot of potential here. And every one of us would trade for a second what you have right now, the journey ahead of you. And we all are so proud of you for being here. So give yourself a hand, please.
Thank you very much indeed, Attorney Kate. And, oh yeah. So you got a certificate. What's your name, sir?
What's your name? What's your name?
Jelani Samuel. Okay, Jelani. All right. We're going to add to the certificate. You're going to get a financial donation as well. All right. We'll deal with that later. All right. At the moment, Alwyn Baptiste, please. Alvin has done a tremendous amount of work in the music field. He's been a first-class musician, public affairs officer for the legislature, travels abroad to promote the VI and the US. And one of the big things he's really done is that they've asked him to, in 2022, to be the Grand Marshal for the festival activities. And we know activities are coming up pretty soon, and no doubt he's going to be involved in them. But Alvin has just, with his family members and so forth, a couple of them I think have passed on, has really kept music going and going in a big way. It's part of his life. And I want you to know that you can also, from a young person point of view, decide what you would like to do. A lot of you, sports is good beginning, but for Alvin, it was music, and it will always be. So big hand please for Alvin.
Thank you very much, and good morning to all the young men. Good morning to my fellow recipients. This is a bunch of guys, believe I tell you, look up to all of them. I might be the youngest one in this bunch. Probably am right? So, but I'll be talking to you, I'll give you two different scenarios. I've always been an A student in school. I graduated out of Central High School. I was 16 years old. I can't remember, that's a long time ago. So after I graduated, obviously I came to UVA, but before that, I wanted to be like my father. So my father used to play cricket, then I don't want to play cricket. If my father was a doctor, then I'd have been talking to you today about being a doctor. Today I'm a musician because my father was a musician. I wanted to be like him more than anything else in the world. So I came to UVA, I did a year and a half at UVA, but the music took over me. So one of my biggest regrets in life is that I never finished UVA because in the back of my mind, I always wanted to be a lawyer. I'm 51 years old now, and I'm still considering being a lawyer. I'm still thinking about it. I still have time. I'm still young, and I still have my mind. And when I believe that I can't do the music anymore, then for sure I want to pursue that. Yes. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. So I say that to say, I needed to go to school, do the best as you can. If school doesn't work, you could find something else. There's other things that you could do. I'm blessed to be a musician because I'm able to be myself. I didn't have to be doing it the right way. It didn't matter what anybody else was doing, what the case be. I do how it is I felt, how it is I listen to, how it is I felt. So that's what makes Daddy Jones, if you ever hear Daddy Jones and what the case be, a lot of these young other bands playing some of the stuff that I did 20 years ago. So it means a lot to me. So pursue whatever it is, you find somebody that's going to be able to mentor you. I always have my dad. I have Pedro. I met Pedro when I was a little boy. One of the things Pedro taught me early on was run the scales. So whenever I sit down in front of the keyboard, I have Pedro in the back of my mind, run the scales. Most important. If I keep perfecting my skills, then I could do other things. Yes? Who's Pedro? He's after me. He's going to talk right after me. He's going to have a lot to say as well. And so I appreciate the award. And like I said, you find somebody that positive, somebody that enhances whatever it is that you want to be in life. And by all means, do whatever it is you want to do. Whatever that is, be good at it. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you very much. Attorney Pate would be a good man to talk to get that going. All right, our next honoree is Elvis Pedro, the man himself. Right. Elvis has done a tremendous amount of work. His years as a first-class military band, world-class guitarist, world-class, not just world-class. He's taken him to many places, Africa, Bolivia, Guam, the US mainland, where he showcased the Virgin Islands of a whole. And Reinhold Rookie Jackson was one of the first music teachers that got him rolling, and so we're very proud of that. And one of the things that we're finding out as we go along is that there are a lot of people in the community who are doing things, and we're often not recognizing them for that, but we really need to do that. One of the things I would like to see is a museum set up where we can have pictures, videos, and so forth of all of those people who've been moving St. Croix forward. And you don't have to be a senator for that or anything like that. You just have to be willing to make your contribution. And then in 2001, he gained the first place spot in the World Martial Arts Hall of Fame competition in Michigan. So there's the man himself, Mr. Elvis Pedro. Big hand for Elvis Pedro.
Morning, everyone. First of all, I want to say thank you for the acknowledgement. Choco, thank you for your organization as well. I got on a couple months ago, your organization, the Sports Award. Very nice thing you're doing for the local people. Today, it's not about Elvis, today is about you guys. All of you. I'm sitting here, but I'm listening to all the comments coming from over there. Now, I'm going to start by talking about myself, even though it's not about me, it's about you. I've been around a little while. I did a lot of things. I've been all over the globe. As a youngster like you, I wasn't bad, but I was mischievous. Practice, I like to make jokes and pull jokes at people, right? But I like everything I'm hearing as far as education. Now this might come out the right way, but education don't necessarily mean in a classroom. It means to make yourself aware of what you want to do. Now a little history about myself. I used to be a police officer. I used to be a marshal, a combat soldier for the military. I served 40 military years in Uncle Sam Army. I'm a retired assistant chief marshal from the Superior Court here. I did 2.5 years as a police officer before going to the marshals. Now I said that to say this. These are positions that if you sully your life, you make your life dirty, drugs, fight all the time, you can't get this kind of job. They're not going to even look at you. In life, it's like that. You have the choice. I hope you're really hearing me and you're not just saying that. Understand everything, especially what Pastor Skeppel was saying. The violence and stuff, ain't no one cure gonna cure it. It takes everybody. It takes everybody to fix that and to get us on the right track. Surround yourself with good stuff that's going to benefit you. If you're hearing nonsense, hey, we go teach that right now, and you know it's nonsense, tell them like I used to say, not me being doing that. Stand up for what's right. You're a little comedian. It's okay, I was a comedian too, but I like your spirit. But hear what I'm saying, don't take it lightly. Out there is a rough place. But you know how you don't win out there? By being yourself and doing what you know you have to do. It takes continuous work. When everybody else partying, you should be working your craft in your little corner so you can become better or the best in what you do. I like to be the best in what I do. I think I kind of proved that growing up. Everything I was into, I turned out successful in it. Why? I put the work in. Nobody give it to me. And you need to learn that nobody will give you nothing. Once you pass 18, you will see. They're not going to give you. If you don't acquire it or work hard for it, you're not going to get it. Stay focused. Touching on the guns. A combat soldier, you know what we do. Guns, arms, grenades, that's what we did. Once you put a gun in your hand, right or wrong, your life changes. The gun is never the problem. Guess who the problem will be? Your lack of knowledge of the gun you have. And the rules and the law that governs that. You understand? I heard earlier Mr. Skeppel ask, if somebody knock you, what you want to do? No. If somebody hit me, I don't hit them. Why I won't hit them back? I know to myself I can create some devastating damage just hand to hand. You have to be able to think realistically, and that grows as you grow. If somebody hit you, obviously they don't know better. You can't kill them for that. And put yourself in jail for what? Because that person was silly, you're going to put yourself at risk? Does that make sense to you? You got to start thinking more like that. If it's nonsense, they come at you, we ain't even dealing with you, later for you. You take yourself and you remove it from the problem. That's how you become successful. Pick what you want for life or out of life for you and stick to that. Nobody should get you off that track. Even more like crazy glue, the real strong glue. I'll take all the glues. Thank you very much, everybody, again for your time.
Thank you very much indeed, Elvis Pedro. But we have one more individual who is not here at the moment, Gary Pepin. And Gary is a former president of Brothers with a Cause. And I will just say here that he's done a lot over that period of time to execute engaging events tailored to the needs of the male population, and he's done a very good job. So we're going to catch up with him a little bit later. Now, just to tell you what else is on the program, we should have our good friend here is going to introduce someone to do a song, and then after that we're going to call on Pastor Skeppel again just to close things out, and then we will go into the groups doing the discussion on violence, how it's learned, what could be done to address it, etc. So I'll turn over now to Mr. Lampe for introducing the next artist.
All right, we're going to have two songs by the other, none of the other Derek Isles, but his music name is Peacemaker. The Peacemaker.
Peace and love, everybody. Bless up while you sing. Hold up. Peace and love, I bless all. I known as Peacemaker. I love pressure. Remember what pressure said? Cause there is no limitation for I and I tool and to the band. Remember that, okay? So no limit to where you could be. The check, only you could stop yourself. Give God the glory with me, okay? This one I name Watch Over. I pray that God watch over we tonight, watch over the VI. Watch over we Most High. The Most High guide and keep with humanity. The Most High guide and keep with. We give thanks. Most High, watch over we, watch over we, watch over we. Most High Almighty, please watch over we, watch over we, watch over we. Most High Almighty, watch over we. Most High Almighty, praises unto thee, watch over we. Trials and tribulations, ups and downs that we are faced amongst races in the heights, royal lights. Unto Creator and upon time, revealed through the rain as a sign, divine mind. Most High, give thanks tonight. Watch over, watch over, watch over, watch over. Watch over, 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 Most High, watch over, Most High, watch over we, watch over we. Watch over we, Most High Almighty, praises unto thee. Watch over we, watch over we, Most High Holy. Watch over we, Most High Almighty, praises unto thee. Watch over we. Meditation pure unto the Zion star. Make sure your soul is secure. Your crown you ignore. So stronger and stronger and stronger. So strong. Yeah, we gotta stay strong. Stronger and stronger and stronger. Through the concrete jungles, no more shit Babylon islands. So you know what I mean? I gotta emphasize on what Tony was saying, you know what I mean? Because even though our parents, even though the ones before us make mistakes, You have to look at everything in life as parables, as lessons. We learn from those who make mistakes and become better people. We evolve. It's an evolution, it's our evolution. We must unite. Unity is a must, of course. No matter what color you is, no matter what pains of the past we have seen, future is ours. Blessing. I love how you know what I mean. I thank Ismail for opening the door for this opportunity. Pastor Lampe, much love to Pastor Skeppel. I got enough stories like this correction officer here, the Mac. Let me carry you this lesson quick before I go to the next one, you know. Years and years ago when I've been young like I've been a juvenile. My mother didn't want me to smoke weed. I didn't break no law. But my mother be like, yo, you're going to never gonna smoke weed. I can tell you don't smoke weed. And he been in there. And I said, I live in testimony because I gotta get shot by the correction officers, you know, because I didn't want to stay in jail. And I don't know, it's like wings or springs or something. But I went from here, from the basketball court, straight over the fence on the roof of the jail, and I was going, because I didn't want to stay in jail. Yeah, because I didn't want to be in jail. Yeah, but then I had to watch all the correction officers going in my face and saying, get on from that aisles, get on from that aisles. And it made me feel like giving up, put bad boy into my throat, because my parents didn't understand me, because we need each other, man, in this world, as brothers, as sisters, as people, because something we don't know how to deal with it. So that's why I pray, and that's ask the Most High to watch over me. So you know what, moving on from all the stressful stuff, right? Even though I am young, I gotta think about somebody special, like, you know, finding true love at some point in time. And it's better to focus on that there than stress and guns and drugs. So, you know, I got to say for all the blessed love and not the elders, but, you know, my peoples, my age, and little older than the youths and stuff. This one I named The Void. And this is a song about love. And what a woman should do or can do. No. Take away the mortal darkness that's within me. Flying through the universe in galaxies, consume me. Let this be, let this be. Fulfilling our fantasies, dreams becoming real. Different places and different faces. Sometimes I wonder how true love can exist when you can meet someone new always. Oh yeah. Can you take away the space in my heart that empty? Take away the void of darkness that's within me. Can you see our future? Is it you and me? Take away the void of darkness from our reality. This relationship is like an eternal flame. So many people, they be acting strange. We are the masters of the game. Tell me who is to blame. God said move all those obstacles out our way, and He told us to never ever go astray. Everything is gonna be okay. Everything is gonna be okay. Sweet butterfly heart girl, my everything. Official relationship, always by my side. Together we will let our dreams come true. Me and you. Can you feel the space tonight? Empty. Let me take away your pain and darkness immediately. Can you see our future? Is it you and me? Let this be. Just let it be. True love. Let this be. Yeah, man. It's all about love, you know? It's all about peace. That one I named The Void. That one going on Spotify, our platform soon. I got enough tune coming, man. You know what I mean? Just give God the glory, give Yeshua the glory. Yeshua is the name of Jesus in Hebrew. Jesus in English. Regardless of the religious differences and all of the confusions and all of the bad things that happen in this world, let's give Christ praise in your soul. It's the best thing to do. It's the best thing to do. Let's give the Most High the praise in your soul. For the one I owe, for the one, yeah, my boy. For the one I owe that I say you want to be a mafia boss, right? All the mafia, all the gangs in the world, all of them are not getting killed or killing each other. So you better be gangster for God. Just be gangster for God and roll with the angels and love each other. Because jail ain't nice, the streets ain't nice, and being unloved and being alone ain't nice. So the more mistakes you make, the less chances you'll get. And take that from me, man. And give thanks to the Most High for still keeping me going, you know.
Thank you very much, Mr. Isles. Beautiful, lovely, and absolutely wonderful. All right, well, we're getting towards the end now, and any honorees who wish to stay whilst we do the work with the youngsters, you're welcome. But I did want to make sure we ask if there are any ladies here who would like to come up and say a word or two. And my reason for that is we always have to make sure that the ladies have a say. I was checking on some voting the other day, and although the last votes for St. Croix legislature, far more ladies were able to vote. The ladies only voted in one lady. So we'll see how that goes. But are there any ladies who want to come up and say a word or two? You're not being forced. If you want to come, I just want to make sure that all ladies have an opportunity as well. Which one? All right, come here. Because we got to balance things up, make sure we have the ladies in the mix as well, and make sure they say something.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and our young men that are here today. I want to say a special good morning to you. You know, I've had the pleasure of being able to take part in this because Honoree Kevin Dowdy is my husband. So I'm very proud of him at this moment. We do work hard. I was a nurse for almost 30 years. That was my profession. And upon retiring, I realized that we're having a lot of trouble in our community with the younger generation. I am a mom of 4. Let me ask you a simple question, young man. How many of you love your mom? You really love your mom? You sure? Well, I can tell you this. Whatever you're doing out there in the community right now, stop it, because you love your mom. Do not put your mom through the heartache that this younger generation is putting their mothers through when they lose their young men, their boys. Because coming out of high school after you study and not making it to be able to college, make something for yourself, and just live and enjoy life. You don't get to do that when you start following the wrong crowd. So choose your friends wisely. Not because you grow up with your little neighbor next door. When he changes or she changes and starts leading you into the wrong direction, that is your time to say, I'm not doing it because I love mom. And I'm not putting mom through the sacrifice of me passing away and her having to be left to grieve me the rest of her life. Mom is here, mom has worked hard, and dad too, I have to mention dad, I can't leave dad out. Even if dad is not living with you, he's still your father. Whatever has gone on between mom and dad, you still have to respect and honor the fact that you have mom and dad. So do not put your parents through the heartache. Every single one of you, because I've been turning my head and seeing the little expressions, how you react to the different speakers. Be your own self. Seek great advice. Seek a mentor. If you're going through any dilemmas and you feel like you can't talk to mom or dad, call someone. Call Mr. Ali. He's always available. Get into football when you get into high school. And you can play flag football right now. Well, the season is almost over, right, Kev? But you can get involved in sports. That's going to keep you off the streets. And it's going to help you to stay fit and build your body as you're getting into high school. You know, all these young men want to look nice in high school, so get involved in sports. Stay off the streets. And take it seriously. Hello? I want all of you to be looking at me as I'm speaking. Give me your undivided attention. Because respect starts from younger than you, but right now you're at an age that you can listen and take in these very important words that every speaker that has come to speak with you today has given you. From Pastor Skeppel and those wise words that he gave, to even me standing here. Young men, it's time to do something different so that you can have the greatest of results as you become an adult male. You know, one day you're going to be fathers yourselves. But having what you want in life depends on you. It doesn't depend on mom or dad. It doesn't depend on anyone else. Only you can make it happen. So it's time to make it happen. Whatever you're doing in junior high, all the foolishness, quit it and stop it. Make mom proud, make dad proud. You know, it's been a pleasure to be part of International Men's Day, and I want to give everyone a thank you. And young men, I'm marking your faces. Let me not see you guys out there in no slackness. All right? God bless you all.
Thank you very much.
All right, so now we're going to be closing with the benediction by Pastor Skeppel.
Mr. Matthew, I just wanted to have one few words I wanted to say. Yeah, I see my day was very shy. I didn't have time to dance to people. My committee, I'm going to go over 13 years. 13 years. I started this committee from the lead to where this was a perfect organization. In here right now, I have two people give a award to. Him just here, Alan Baptiste, Pedro, and Marcel. We do this every year. We get ready for our next one on August 9th. We are going to be on scholarship. The Central High School is here, and Complex High School is here. So all who got pen, yeah, those who got pen, write this number down. 423-5297. We are asking for donation. That's the number. We do this. I do it from my heart. 340-423-5297. And before I leave, I always say this over and over. People ask me what is part of the sports award show. Senator Board. Senator Board, I was going to ring and talk about. We don't know our athletes on the borderline. And I think it beyond myself to let people on the borderline know our athlete from the borderline and also the British borderline. We go all over. So, God will inspire me to do this, what I'm doing.
On behalf of the Governor of the United States Virgin Islands, Office of Gun Violence, I want to thank you guys for allowing us to speak to you. I want to remind you about something, that you are our future. You are our future lawyers and doctors. You are future presidents of this university. You are future, whatever that's in our community, our teachers, our principals, you are our future, and we're depending on you. We want you to become successful. You must become successful. You are going to become successful. Because if you don't become successful, then we're in trouble in our future. We are depending on you. We want you to become the next baseball player, the next Livingston Bramble, the next Jerry Brown, the next Governor Albert Bryan, the next senator. We want you to become that person because it's important to us that you are successful. And that's why we're pushing you, we're reminding you, and we're urging you to do good. Because when you do good, we do good. Yes, gentlemen, and I'll close with you. One question, go ahead. Yeah. Yes. Yes, give him a big hand clap. He got it. He said, I don't need you to be like them. We need you to be better than them. Greater than them. Thank you. Give him a big hand clap for that. That is worth $1 million. I thank you for your words of inspiration. At $20. Again, your success is our success. Your determination is our determination. We can only go as far as you go. And we want you to become successful in everything that you do and make us proud. Thank you.
All right, folks. Well, that's it for the formal bit. Of course, honorees could stay. We have